sent home to die. And fortunately, many of them are still alive decades later. But the reason I show that foot at the bottom right is that foot was given a death sentence. It was supposed to be amputated 2 days from the day that picture was taken, but notice it 2 weeks and ultimately 17 months later. And here's what I can tell you. My message to patients is you have a pulse, you have a prayer, and it's same in your financial future. I've taught doctors all over the world about health, happiness, and success. And really, those are our 3 topics for tonight. Life threw me a curveball a number of years ago. It wasn't a shark in the water. It was actually an X-ray that was much, much, much scarier. I had a shoulder injury. I got the report, and the radiologist was recommending a bone scan. And here's what I'll tell you. That meant he thought he saw what was likely cancer. Well, thank God it wasn't. But from the time I had the X-ray report to the time I was able to actually get an MRI, I opted for that first. I had a week to think about it. And I thought, what am I going to do if I have a short time left? And I remember that this wisdom that your network is your net worth. So my question to you is, are you open to this principle working for you? Because here's what I can tell you. My wife and I have a number of successful businesses, but none of them are as leveraged, as time effective, as scalable, and as profitable as building a network around great products. And that's what we're going to share with you. If you have a conversation with people, let's say you had a conversation with 100 people, how many of them do you think would be more interested in both taking control of their health and their wealth than they were a few years ago? And that number has to be near 100. And why do I say near? Maybe someone was maxed out in their interest a few years ago. But either way, people are really waking up to the idea that they really need to be proactive about their life. So 2020, 70 million Americans, nearly half of every household, have what they call the side hustle. So, you might be familiar with something like Uber, where they get in a car and they drive, and who knows, maybe 10 hours a week. Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. We've been able to leverage 10 hours a week over the course of 10 years to build a multi-million-dollar global business that is so highly leveraged that over 97% of the revenue that the income generates is generated by our team. And that's the value of the bottom item here: network marketing, multi-level marketing. And here's what we know. It has a super low entry cost. Think of Uber, you need a car, you need insurance. That's more expensive. You can join our team for as little as $49 and then your initial inventory cost. Now, how much money will you make? Well, that depends on your skills and the team that you build and the products you move, but the potential is essentially unlimited. So network marketing has been around for over 75 years. It's in over 100 countries. It does over 200 billion in annual sales. And here's what I want you to know. I think they estimate that, for instance, the NFL does about 10 billion a year in sales. So we're 20x the NFL, and we exceed the NFL, Hollywood, and the music industry combined by exponential factors. A lot of people are familiar with affiliate marketing. And that is an option, but here's what I'll tell you. With affiliate marketing, you do the work once, you get paid once. You do network marketing, you do the work once, you get paid more than once, and you also have the opportunity to get paid on a team that you build. I love the title of this book, Royalty Income, and how about the subtitle, The Business of Getting Paid More Than Once. And you get paid more than once on the efforts that you put out, but also the efforts that your team puts out. And our product is healthy coffee, reishi or Ganoderma infused coffee, making it a better coffee, an alkaline coffee, an anti-inflammatory coffee, a coffee that's good for the immune system. And here's what I'll tell you. The average coffee drinker in North America drinks 3.3 cups a day. Multiply that by 365 days a year. Do the work once, get paid 1,200 times a year. And since this is my 10th year, I can tell you, I introduced people 10 years ago. They're still drinking the coffee. Do the work once, in that case, get paid over 12,000 times. So what a wonderful opportunity. I'm a fan of success. Interesting reality show called Undercover Billionaire. Grant Cardone was one of the people that they, said, okay, here's what we're going to do. You can't use your name. You can't use your identity. We're going to give you $100, an old truck, and a phone that has no contacts in it. And you have 90 days to build $1 million business. Well, here's what Grant Cardone did. He says, you know what? There's no way I could start a business from scratch. That would be beyond foolish. So what I decided to do was find a successful business with good products, partner with them, and add value. And he didn't just build a $1 million business. In 90 days, he built a $5 million business. But what he tells you very, very simply is, you know, if he were 20 and starting over, he would actually do network marketing for many, many, many reasons. And his number one is to get around people who are taking action towards building their dream, towards making their life better. And that is my favorite thing about network marketing. So there's plenty of network marketing companies, you know, plenty of sages recommend it. And let's say you have a couple different options. One, you can help people save money on a better option of something they're already doing. Or option two, try to sell them on a new product or service. Well, if you just look at that right up front, who doesn't want a better option? I think everybody wants a better option. Who doesn't want to save money? I think everybody wants to save money. Who wants to just, you know, continue doing what they're doing, only better with no extra effort? Well, that's probably everybody too. What about a new product or service? Well, maybe it's valuable, but now you have this huge education thing to do and change people's, maybe their mind and the way they do things. So the company's called Organo. Notice what they say, they're a network lifestyle company, because we not only have coffee and tea and delicious weight management drinks, but we have brain health and beauty and travel. And I'll say a little bit more about that, but you know what? They're now in their 14th year. So they stood the test of time. We're operational in over 40 countries. And they started out with health made easy and delicious. What makes it easy? Our coffee's pre-brewed. It's in individual sachets. All you have to do is add water. And by the way, if you start strong, like espresso strong, you can dilute it very, very easily. And you have that whole gamut. Our product can serve an espresso lover, even a double espresso lover, or someone that likes a very, very, very mild blend. And we are off the charts delicious. But we have evolved to what our chairman calls an ecosystem of health, wealth, beauty, and paradise. Now, what's an ecosystem? Well, everybody has a role, and in our ecosystem, everybody wins. We're a zero carbon company. We take care of everybody that's part of the process, in the supply chain, in the manufacturing, and certainly those of us that have decided to build a business. And we're in 40 countries and growing. So this was the question that Organo first asked that led to over $1 billion in sales in their first 5 years, without a single storefront or without a dollar spent of advertising. And listen to this question. Do you know anyone who drinks coffee or tea at least occasionally? Now think about that. You know, if someone asks you what you do, follow up with this question. Hey, do you know anyone who drinks coffee or tea at least occasionally? And they say, well, yeah, of course. Doesn't everybody? I said, well, I think everybody does. Is it you? Yeah, it's me. What do you drink? Coffee or tea? I drink coffee. How do you drink it? Man, you know what? I know it's a guilty pleasure, but I love mocha. Wow. Well, have I got something for you? I've got the world's most delicious, healthy, amazing mocha, and I'd love to gift you a few. And I just want 2 pieces of information. How does it taste and how does it make you feel? And with that strategy, over $1 billion in sales, faster than Apple, faster than Facebook, faster than Microsoft, faster than IBM. Absolutely phenomenal. Now, in this world of digital, I use text messages. I start a conversation with people, or a birthday message or whatever. I've got plenty of people where I know their birthday. I send them a happy birthday. And then ultimately, how you doing? What's going on? And they usually say, life is good. What's up with you? And I say something like this. I've invested in a healthier gourmet coffee and tea company. I'd love to give you some samples. And if you like them, I'd love to earn your business. I'll tell you what, it's literally just that simple. And what has that led to? Well, on our team, over $36 million in sales in over 20 countries. So it can be profoundly lucrative. And here's what we know. No dream is too big for coffee. Billions of cups consumed every single day. It's in every single country around the world. And tea is a close second to coffee. Then here was their next question. Do you know anyone who wants to lose weight drinking dessert? Well, I'll tell you what, I would think that'd be about everybody, but here's a fascinating thing. We give them our delicious beverages, and sometimes they say, well, that might be a little bit too sweet for me because it literally is that good and blood sugar friendly. Well, I'll tell you what, let's put a little bit of coffee in there. Let's see how that calms that down a bit, or a little peanut butter or whatever you like. But here's what I'll tell you. People love it, and they're melting off the pounds. And I love the story of Frank, lost 100 pounds in 10 months, and then was on stage telling the world, you know what, this is too good not to share. I want to share it with the world. And for people that are concerned about blood sugar, that would be me, and me for all of my patients. Here's what I'll tell you. When people want to drink it, I say, you know what, let's test your blood sugar before and after. And even with my diabetic patients, this mocha typically raises their blood sugar about the level of a meal in broccoli and chicken. But here's what I tell you. Don't take my word for it. Put it to the test. Try it if you like mocha. Test your blood sugar. I think you're going to be beyond amazed. And by the way, I'm a big fan of PubMed. Why? Because this is the National Library of Medicine, National Institutes of Health database. This is what I use to teach doctors all over the world. And the herb in our coffee, Ganoderma, proven to have at least half a dozen anti-diabetic mechanisms. And by the way, it was part of what saved that foot. That was a diabetic foot that you saw in that early picture. How about their next question? Do you know anybody who wants beautiful confidence? Now, you may notice that beautiful spelled a little different. Why? Because our skincare line is called Be You. And the next catchphrase, why be anyone else? Because you can be a more beautiful, healthy, happy, balanced you. And here's a sad reality. There are so many skincare products that are just profoundly toxic. They have things in them that are known to cause cancer, birth defects, infertility, you name it. And yet these are being put on young girls' faces, maybe boys too, on a regular basis. And we have a better option. So here's your choice, toxic versus nourishing. And I'll tell you what, all you need to do is just look a little bit into what I'm telling you, and you'll try the nourishing and beautiful skincare. And now, by the way, for everyone, right? I wasn't too conscious of skincare before this, but I thought, you know what, let me try it. And here's what I can tell you. My skin definitely is better in every single way. Do you know anybody who wants to travel to some of the greatest paradises on the planet, saving up to 80%? And how about with your own personal travel concierge? And that's what we offer with the Organo Travala vertical. So we started with coffee and tea, we got shakes, we got beauty, we got skincare, we got travel, and then even a software upgrade for your brain with a software called NeuroTracker. It's been around for over 20 years, over 50 published medical studies, works in every demographic, whether you're 6 years old or 106 years old, and you literally get a better brain in 6 minutes a day. And by the way, it doesn't even have to be every day. 3 times a week is proven to create phenomenal changes. And to share a fun testimonial, Carol Sarah is one of my patients, and she has been for all 31 years. Picture of her and her amazing husband, Gene. Hard to imagine that Carol is 77, but an absolutely beautiful 77. But she said to me, you know what, Dr. Bob, sometimes I'm losing words in mid-sentence, and I misplace my keys a little more than I want to. You have any suggestions? Yeah, let's add NeuroTracker to your Organo experience. And here's what she found out. Her brain got better. Those issues that she was experiencing got better. And even her physical balance got better. So think about this. What are we offering? Time freedom. I'll talk about that more in a moment, because you can get phenomenal time leverage. Money freedom, because yeah, you get paid on the team that you build and the products they move. And let me tell you, we can't make income claims, but 36 million in sales, profoundly lucrative, has set myself and my family up for generations. Location freedom. I'm in Houston. We got people in Canada, maybe in Mexico, different parts of the day, London, Portugal, South Africa, Australia. They all get this message. And by the way, we're operational in all of those places. Better health, beautiful confidence, enhanced cognition. That package we call total freedom. People like Warren Buffett will tell you, if you're going to look at a business, look at 5 parameters, look at the products, look at the company, look at the money, look at the sport, look at the timing. We talked about the products. We talked about the company. 14 years, phenomenal research, global and expanding. Money, let's just put it this way. We can't make income clicks. That's a fascinating thing. But as one of my mentors says, you can either make nothing or a whole bunch. And if you ever want an interesting thing, Google Dexter Yeager, the most successful networker of all time, lifetime earnings approaching $500 million. Now, I'm not going to tell you you can make that. I'm not telling you can't either. Support, we've got a phenomenal team, a phenomenal company, Facebook groups, multiple weekly Zooms, and timing. Hey, are people more or less interested in health or wealth? And then think about all the ways that we have to offer that. Warren Buffett, possibly the most successful investor ever. He says he looks for durable competitive advantage, lasting competitive advantage. So we have a couple different patented processes by which we extract the nutrients, by which we alkalize the coffee, by which we pre-brew the coffee with certified organic Ganoderma. So we have that durable competitive advantage. Some have tried the coffee, but guess what? They can't even come close. Their coffee is nothing like ours, but don't take my word on it. Try them side by side if you're interested. Eric Worre is likely the best trainer in network marketing. You know, that's always a debatable thing. He currently mentors over 100 people that are super high earners. I can't tell you their numbers, but the average person that he mentors earns more than a neurosurgeon. And they earn that by learning and applying the 7 skills that are listed here. Now, this is not a training session per se. We'll do a little training after the meeting, but I'll tell you what, as Eric says, these are the most learnable skills based on the money that you can earn. And I love this definition of the law of compensation. The amount that you earn is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. My question for you is, how many people can you serve individually? And I'll tell you what, it's nowhere near as many as 10,000 people can serve. So how do we get to 10,000? You know, you find 10 people who feel overworked, underpaid, wanting more financial security, and they love our products and they're willing to work to build their skills. And those 10 can lead to 100 to 1,000 to 10,000. The reason I put the timeline above is I think it's very, very reasonable. Eric Worre started at age 23. He said the only thing he was known for was quitting and chronically underachieving. But he said, this is mine. I'm going to make this happen. And he floundered around for about the first 4 years. He hadn't developed the skills, but then he decided to go pro, studied under the best of the best, you know, and in years 5, 6, and 7, built a team of over 10,000 people with a profoundly lucrative income. Let's talk about time for a moment. Imagine you have those 10,000 people. What if they all worked a quarter of an hour a day? And I use that instead of 15 minutes because it makes the math a little more obvious to a lot of people. But what's a quarter of an hour a day from 10,000 people? That's 2,500 hours per day. Now, I'm a math major, so let me tell you something. If you work 40 hours a week, 50 weeks a year, that would be 2,000 hours. If you work 50 hours a week, 50 weeks a year, that's 2,500. Guess what? You get people that can put in 15 minutes a day. And here's what I'll tell you. I don't know anybody that can't put in 15 minutes a day if it's a priority. And most can do 30. So think about that. You get this phenomenal time leverage. And I'll go back to Buffett wisdom. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. Well, I'll tell you right now, Europe is sleeping. Australia, they might be waking up. But when we go to bed, other people are waking up and drinking coffee. How fun is that? Let's do some simple math. If you have 10 coffee customers, they drink 3.3 cups a day, and they love our black, you're going to earn with a $15 markup per box about $500 a month. That's more than the average Uber. But here's the word. Do the work once, get paid more than once. And me, in some cases, over 12,000 times on people I introduced to coffee a decade ago. Organo has other incentives where people can get paid a lot of money. They have a global growth bonus for people that start brand new, and even for existing people that have been in the business for a while. And you can earn an extra $9,000 in your first 90 days. Is it possible? Yeah. Look at all the people on stage. This was a Houston event, and they had all earned the global growth bonus. So I'll ask this question again. Do you know anyone who's more interested in health or wealth? and maybe wants to take more charge of their life. So, you know what? That spring deal, sorry, expired. I forgot to remove that one, but $49.95 gets you on our team, and then you take your choice of products. Now, they have what are called accelerator packs, good, better, or best. And you have a range from either $250 worth of product, $500 worth of product, or $1,500 worth of product. And you might ask, well, what's the advantage? If the bigger the accelerator pack you buy, the more you get paid and the more ways you get paid. People that are serious about going for the global growth bonus, the gold is what I would recommend for them. So I'm going to finish up before we go to training. So this will end the official opportunity presentation. But here are the 4 questions. First question is why? Why'd you take the time to join us today? There's so many other things you could do. Second question is the answer to the first. Why not? Why not make a simple change that could make your health and or wealth better? Why not get that beautiful confidence? Why not lose weight drinking liquid dessert? Why not get a better brain? And why not, when you're ready to start traveling again, save up to 80% on luxury locations? Next question, why not you? Someone's going to say this makes sense. And not only does it make sense, it can make a lot of dollars as well. And the final question is, why not now? The longer you wait to act on information, the least likely you are to act on it. So here's your call to action. If someone invited you to this Zoom, go back to them and say, you know what, this makes sense. I'm in. Or at least I want to try some product. Or if you're on the replay or the Facebook page or YouTube or wherever you catch it, go back to whoever referred it to you. We're going to transition to training, but I always finish with these words. I'm Dr. Bob Rakowski, absolutely knowing that we can all be happy, healthy, and successful. And this, by the way, is a beautiful fast track to all of the above.